The skeletons are coming out of the closet, literally. Today we're talking about 4 funeral directors that were arrested within the last 6 months for keeping decaying bodies in their funeral homes. They dead ass wrong. I've been applying to grants to fund my funeral home, and for this one I have to send in a submission video. I love true crime and makeup, so I thought it would be fun to talk about what's going on in the funeral industry while I do my makeup for the video. I'm from Jacksonville, Florida, so naturally that's where I'm planning to open my first funeral home, and it looks like a spot just opened up. Ola Mae Brown Jackson passed in September 2023, and her family trusted Miriam Graham Mortuary to do her services. So about 4 months after Miss Ola Mae's funeral, the family still doesn't have her remains. So in January 2024, they show up at the front door and they like, what's up? Like, what's going on? So the funeral director, he's like, oh, hold on, I'll be right back. And he makes the family wait outside for about 45 minutes before he comes back with some remains. Miss Ola Mae's family wasn't playing. Something still didn't feel right to them, so they reported the funeral home to the state. Now, when the state inspector shows up, they find Ms. Jackson and 2 other people in the back in some body bags. They're not in the refrigerator. The place is infested. It's just not a good scene. This case is still ongoing, but he's been charged with grand theft, improper preservation of a body, and he's being accused of basically just abandoning the funeral home. Elliot Maurice Graham inherited this business in 2018 from his father, and there's been some shady shit going on ever since. Families that had paid for funeral services over 10 years ago were told that the prearranged services didn't exist, so they had to pay again, basically double charging them. And the stories from these families is absolutely heartbreaking. After the news about the funeral director's arrest broke, a man named Dale Williams came forward to tell his story. He said that he paid the funeral home for his father's services back in 2021. It cost between $8,000 and $9,000. But to this day, he still does not have his father's remains. During the investigation, the police found evidence that he may be living in the funeral home. So I'm not sure. Maybe it's one of those things where like finances are an issue. But I don't know. I'm kind of having a hard time even seeing that because you charge $8,000 to $9,000. So even if it costs about $700 to cremate that body, if you're charging me $8,000 or $9,000, I mean, I feel like that more than covers it. Not to mention, even if we factor in the price of the casket, I mean, I'm sure you still double or triple the price of a casket. You're still at like $6,000-$7,000 profit. So like, it just doesn't add up. Like with the price of funerals, there's no way that should be happening. But like I said, maybe it's a financial issue, so I'll try to be understanding. I don't know. I feel like that's enough to keep the lights on. I definitely feel like that's enough for you to not have to have bodies in the damn back. So this second case takes place in Denver, Colorado. And here, Miles Hartford owns Apollo Funeral Services and Cremations. This business closed down in September of 2022. So now here we are about a year and a half later. So in February 2024, Miles is getting evicted from the home that he was renting. So I guess the homeowner was getting ready to throw his shit out. And when he's clearing out the crawl space, he finds human ashes. So he calls the police. My house was built about 40 years after slavery ended. So ain't no telling what's happened in this house. And we've been doing like a major renovation, like opening walls, getting into it. Thank God I've never found anything. Could you imagine? So anyway, the landlord finds these ashes in the crawl space and he calls the police. And when the police get there, they find the ashes of about 30 more people. But then it gets worse, like a lot worse. There's a broken down hearse in the backyard, so they get it towed to the front yard. That way they can get into it a little better.
And inside, they find the body of a 63-year-old woman who died back in August of 2022. So about a month before he closed the funeral home. So the thing is, Miles had already given the family Christina's ashes. And so I know when they got the call from authorities, they had to be like, you found what? Then who the hell is up in this urn on my damn fireplace mantle? Miles owed money to almost every crematorium in his local area. So they refused to take any more bodies from him. They were like, nope, you already owe me. You know what I'm saying? Why would I take more and you owe me? You talking about another body. Where's the money from the last one? He couldn't get anybody to cremate Miss Christina, so he decided to just leave her in the hearse in the backyard. Like I said, he was in the process of being evicted, so there was a U-Haul parked outside, and he even had ashes in this U-Haul. And my thing is just, where are you taking these damn people? If they were already cremated, why are you hoarding them if you could have just gave them back to the family? Like, you just want to take them from place to place with you? I'm really just trying to understand what's going on in their mind, or what leads so many funeral directors to do this. What's really going on? Are y'all good? Are you good? This literally happened just last month, so this is still an ongoing case as well. All of these cases are horrible, but this last one, they took shit to a new level. Colorado's regulations for funeral homes is almost non-existent. Like, they do not have the same laws as most other states. Up until 2022, they had to have permission to even inspect the funeral homes, and the funeral director could just be like, no thanks, we're good, no thanks. But what happened at Return in Nature Funeral Home was so bad that lawmakers, they got busy. They already been signing laws. This can never happen again. It's insane. John and Carrie Hartford owned the Return to Nature Funeral Home. They're supposed to offer green funeral options, so they don't use embalming fluid, and you can either be placed directly in the dirt or purchase a biodegradable casket. So it's supposed to be very eco-friendly. In October, people in the neighborhood were like, it smells kind of funny at the funeral home. That's not good. All the windows were covered, so nobody could see what was going on inside. So they reported it, and when police showed up, they found 189 bodies, literally stacked on top of each other. The scene was so bad that one of the paramedics just instantly broke out in a rash. And like, to be honest with you, bro, same. Like, oh hell no, I can't go back in there. I'm itchy. I can't go back. I can't go back in there. I'm itchy. Nope. 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 See, I'm breaking out. I got to go. Hell no, get somebody else to do it. No ma'am. Hell no. That is not some shit that I'm finna. It was terrible. There were bugs everywhere, and the floor was covered in bodily fluids. Like, so much that they had to actually put cardboard down so that the paramedics didn't slip in it. The body that was there the longest was from September of 2019. Back in 2020, the county coroner tried to report the funeral home because they believed that they were not properly refrigerating the bodies, but they ignored the coroner. They had 23 bodies from 2019 and 61 from 2020. There were no bodies from 2021 because apparently the person that they had hired at that time was actually burying the bodies. But I guess they got rid of him because the next year they were right back at it. There were 17 from 2022 and another 40 from 2023. Just like in the other two cases, the families had already been given remains, so they were completely confused when they found out that their loved one was never cremated. This couple's bank records show that they purchased over 600 pounds of concrete mix from Home Depot. So what you thought was your sweet, sweet grandma was actually a scoop of some damn concrete mix. That's so fucked up. To make it worse, they was out here cashing the fuck out. These people was out here balling, okay? The couple bought 2 brand new vehicles, vacations. They went and got their bodies done. They spent $31,000 on cryptocurrency. Like, baby, they living the high life. Like, for less than it cost for this couple to buy those 2 brand new cars, they could have cremated each body inside of that building twice. John texted his wife saying, "My one and only focus is keeping us out of jail." Jail? Boy, you finna go to hell. They're facing 260 charges, including money laundering, theft, forgery, and abuse of a corpse. Surveillance camera footage shows John taking a cart with a body on it and literally dumping it onto the floor and just leaving out the back door with the cart. If you'll disrespect the dead, you'll disrespect any damn body. The building is set to be demolished, which makes sense because that was a lot. I get money issues, but I don't know. I don't care how hard times get. I'm not sleeping 15 feet from a decaying body. Like, at some point, we're gonna have to call the people. I'm gonna have to call somebody because, hey, I got to get up out of here. Then with the last couple, it's like it wasn't even about the money because they had plenty of money. They could have taken care of those people and still bought one of their cars. How are they not haunting you at night? Like, when I said I wasn't afraid of the dead, I lied so bad. If it's any group of people that I don't want beef with, it gotta be the dead. But you know what? Maybe they're not afraid of dead people. Then in the case with Miles, it's like the people were already cremated, so what's he keeping them around for anyway? Like, maybe they don't mind being haunted. Maybe they think these people like they friends now. I don't know. That's the only thing that would make sense because, I mean, why else do you want to just... I don't know. But they need to seek some help because that's something going on. The elevator is not going to the top, baby. Throughout history, families would typically take care of the dead themselves and have their own rituals and way that they cared for their loved ones as they transition. But with the rise of the funeral industry, families started to get less and less involved, and now we're at a point where people really don't know what goes on in the prep room, and that's why they're able to get away with this type of thing. I hope this doesn't become more and more popular as we see cremations start to rise. Some funeral homes allow families to witness a part of the cremation, and that might be kind of hard to watch, but I mean, if you want to make sure it's actually getting done, that might be the best way. I mean, I get it might be kind of hard to watch, but if you really want to make sure that they haven't just gone up to the nearest Lowe's and gave you a scoop of God knows what, that might be the best way to do it. Why do you think this happens so much in the funeral industry, and would you want to witness a cremation? Let me know in the comments down below and let's talk about it. Wish me luck. Hi, my name is Antonia. I'm the owner of Atlantic Sands, a funeral home with a conscience.